Is that the Benny Hill music?
It is. It is that and the Jackass music. So that
Oh
was
yeah, that's that. Yeah, the
yeah.
Jackass music. Okay.
So so no one is confused. This is not the baseball show. This is the X's and O's. But I was playing around with the intros and it wasn't working the way I wanted it to work. So I was up against time. So I just abandoned ship and just went with that because, it's silly. But
Yeah, people that's watching is probably like, there ain't no shot to y'all.
right.
It's like how you playing the intro where I ain't in none of the shots.
I mean, take a hint. Take a hint.
That's what it seemed like. It's like, dang, I'm being
Yeah.
replaced right in front of my eyes.
Yeah. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Don't ask any questions. We'll talk about it off camera.
They
No,
would
but
probably say the
yeah,
same thing. They would probably be like, what the hell you playing an intro for somebody that ain't even here? No, but
yeah,
I've seen you do that intro, the old one that we had. That was for
yeah,
like every show you did, even interviews, all that.
right. Yeah, I
You
mean,
know,
yeah, it was a little weird. But yeah. So welcome in, folks. Where I think we're finally past the kind of sad story moments here. So we're gonna get back to fun, like we said before. So I first of all, I will work on the intros on Wednesday and Thursday when I actually have time. So that's the plan. I've been pretty kind of doing a bunch of stuff today, so didn't really get a chance. But also, like I said, I thought it would have been very easy. Anywho, few kind of housekeeping things. So I know I told you about this. I know we talked about it before, but I want to kind of beat that drum. So we are going to start doing giveaways. We are going to eventually get into the merch business. Obviously we'll get them first. We'll start wearing them, see if y'all like them. I'll create a store and put it on the website. And we are, and I'm stealing this idea. I already told you, but we're going to do the Patreon thing. We're going to do the Q&A thing, like a monthly Q&A. So look at it almost like a Reddit Ask Me Anything, if you've ever kind of partaken in that. So nothing's off the table. It's going to be one of those things where you get to kind of deep dive into who we are and maybe our opinions on things that we haven't covered or, things like that. So we'll probably put that at about a $5, a month thing. And, no limits on questions, nothing like that. So I don't know, figured it'd be a fun thing. I know we tried to do the Patreon thing before, but we are super green, man. Super green, and we were like, begging, and we didn't know what the hell we were doing. we are much more polished now, and we realized we actually can provide a service, and but that's kind of it there. I guess we're starting football in 2 weeks. I did make an executive decision here. Because of the time that we do have to record for football. Anyone that remembers the show, which you should, or you're going to learn real quick here in the next 2 weeks. We did Tuesday night and Saturday night. So Saturday night was the preview for Sunday and the review of Thursday and just kind of, start sit decisions, things like that. And Tuesday was the recap of Sunday and Monday and a preview of waivers. Now, the problem is the schedule did not adhere to it being really a time-conducive thing. We started at 10:30 or 10, whatever, generally the same type of thing. Let's be fully honest. One, I don't think folks are going to be showing up live in general for that. And two, by the time they listen to it, if they're not listening to it live, it's like 1
what
a.m. You know what I mean?
waivers already went through. Yeah.
Right. You're not caring about that. So what we're gonna do, the schedule from here on out. So, if you're not subbed, obviously do that. Do the little bell situation so you know when we do stuff. But Monday is gonna be football. Or I'm sorry, Monday is gonna be baseball. That's going to be right around the 8 o'clock mark. Tuesday is going to be X's and O's, and this is going to be in 2 weeks. All right. So currently, right now, think of it being end of August, but everything else will get.
Wow, that's a commitment for you. So you just Xing Monday Night Football out your schedule.
Oh no, actually no. I'm lying. That's actually a great call. So the end of yes, thank you for that. Actually, I completely pooped my pants there. Yes, so at
Tuesday.
the end of August, baseball is going to be at 7 o'clock. X's is going to be on Tuesday. That's going to be at 10, I'm assuming. Football is going to be Wednesday. And then Saturday is going to be baseball at 8 and football at 10. So, yeah, busy. But as of right now, as we stand, football isn't around yet. So, X's obviously right now. Baseball is Monday at 8 and Saturday at 8. So, that's the plan. But, yeah, just to give you a little idea there. It sounds like a lot of numbers and it's confusing. I get it. But just hit the bell. You'll know it's up. But, yeah. And then eventually, whenever we get the Patreon kind of thing figured out, which is probably going to be sooner than later, we'll have to figure out a time where all three of us can be on at the same time and do that show. So, but as you see,
and
the name,
Taylor, he said he
yeah.
double dipped, so he knows football and baseball. See,
yeah,
I
he's
couldn't
going to
come on
show
your
up
baseball show.
Too.
I would be as quiet as a church mouse on the baseball show. So I couldn't say anything. But
yeah, and he's going to be, I would think, not a all the time guest, but I would say he's going to show up a decent amount. We're going to reach out, like I mentioned on last week's. We're going to start reaching out to some folks to get some guests on football, and hopefully some folks here. If for anything, at least the draft. But speaking of draft, it's drafty in here is the name of the episode. As you all know, I'm insanely charismatic and very creative when it comes to names. If you didn't catch last week's show, which, let's be honest, it was a down the dump show, so I can understand if you tabbed out of it. So fair enough, I get it. It's been, and this is coming via Tiff. She said that we kind of lost our spark a little bit because it's been very serious the last few weeks, and it's not. We don't have that jokey, bubbly thing. And I understand that because things have been going on. So it's kind of hard to be able, throw life to the side. But, so I told her to shut the fuck up and she did. So,
no, I did definitely a whole show of Debbie Downer. And, I think we're going to be in up and up. And the past couple shows have probably not been, a lot, like you said, bubbly and fun because, even before my disaster, we were talking about how upset you were with your job. Yeah, so that kind of got a little serious as well. So, kind of take some of the seriousness out of it. Not saying that we're just a bunch of jesters running around and all we do is laugh all the day and giggle all the time. But
yeah, remember how we break down words, man? Like that was like intense stuff.
You said what when we wrote down words?
When we used to break down words, like
yeah.
So that was some serious stuff.
Stuff. Yeah. But it's going to be an up and up from going forward. I have secured my apartment. I'm currently in it now. I know you're not a religious guy, but I have to say this: glory be to God. God be all the glory. I got a big burden lifted off my back, and we can get our spark back, so to speak. So, yeah,
well, I'm all in. Said, it's okay to have those conversations. And by the way, have I been cutting out at all, or am I good?
No, you're good. I can hear you. Oh, I did want to tell you last
Listen,
week.
I listened back. Holy balls!
Yeah, I didn't
Echo.
even know. I didn't know what echo you kept complaining about. But when I replayed the show, it echoed the whole time. Even
It
my
was
voice
good.
was echoed. I
Yeah.
was like,
Okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Yep.
it had to be in the recording. And what I ended up doing is I swapped out the mic and I swapped out the cord. So I don't know if there was something going on there, but I haven't had any problems since. So
Yeah.
okay. No, but look, man, I think it's perfectly okay to have those serious conversations. I think the problem is we kept having them back to back to
Over and
back.
over. Well, I mean,
So
the show wouldn't be authentic. Like I said, if everything was a joke and everything was funny all
right,
the time, people would be like, "What? Who are these dudes? They
right,
nothing goes wrong." You know what I mean? But
right.
I think we went probably an extensive amount. We went too far down the negative rabbit hole or down the bad time rabbit hole. So yeah, we,
Well, when it rains, it pours, man. I mean,
yeah,
that's kind of the thing, So, but
it was just a lot of things happening at the same time. But hopefully it's about face 360.
yeah, yeah,
Going back. Yeah. And
that's generally how it works anyway.
football
But
season starting up, it doesn't
yeah,
doesn't hurt. It makes everything a lot more more happy and a lot more celebratory. So feels good.
yes, yeah. I mean, I think we're getting into our wheelhouse kind of time of the year. So, um, if uh, if anyone actually did stick around last week, we talked about what we are going to do, and what we're going to do is this week is going to be literally all drafts, all drafts. So because we haven't done drafts in I feel like a month, so um, I had to actually look back to see what we chose because I kind of forgot. What we chose is vacation spots, building your perfect draft party, and the best names in sports. So,
You got the draft ding ding or the sound ready?
I feel like that is. Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do it for every one of them because I feel like that's gonna get super
That's gonna be a
annoying.
lot. Yeah.
So we're gonna do it in the beginning of each draft. So
Okay.
here we go. Okay,
Never gets old.
never gets old. You had to click it like 30 times. So this was your draft. So you could start it off. How many rounds are we doing here?
I just wanted to go 4. I haven't been there all over the world like Mr. I can't think of any spot.
Yeah, it's fair. That is fair.
All right. So my first pick, memorable trip that I went on. Me and my college roommate. You know him as the guy from Philly and Andrew's
Okay.
fantasy league. Yeah, we were college roommates. We lived together for about 3 years of the college. We lived in the dorm. We took a trip, man. It was like he said, let's go on this trip. And I mean, this was after we had all graduated and everything, because we stayed in contact. I mean, we're still in contact today. We went to Atlanta for a weekend. It was Memorial Day weekend.
Okay.
And, the thing that was most memorable to me and that was fun, of course, was just the vibe of the city was just like awesome. It just seemed like everybody seemed like they was happy. I mean, even like I ain't gonna say the bums on the street, but the people that was not well off, everyone just had a good hospitality. They spoke to you. It just seemed like it was a bubbly city. And not to mention, I've some of the finest women, best looking women I've ever seen in my entire life was on that trip to Atlanta.
Really?
Yes. I mean, I'm talking like I went into the McDonald's and usually people in McDonald's look like trash.
They look like the cover.
I mean, the girls behind the counter, I mean, they looked like, as they say, dimes and quarters and superstars. Then we ate at Hooters just to make ourselves drool even more. I mean, it was like, I had my mouth open so much, like, by the end of that trip, I looked like I had the scream mask on, with the mouth open, like, I mean, these women were some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen. I mean, it was just a great time. And then, of course, we went to Magic City. That was my first exposure to those of you that don't know what Magic City is. It is a strip club.
I figured.
It's pretty much a well-known one that all the rappers talk about, and a lot of them it's in songs. It's a notorious, well-known strip club, and that was my first exposure to something that wasn't like a rinky-dink place around here. I mean, this was a full-blown establishment that they specialized in this type of work, and I'll never forget it. I mean, it was just insane to the point where it was like a club in a club. So regular people, I said regular people, but people that wasn't dancers were dancing on the dance floor, and you would be dancing. You could be dancing with just a woman that you say, "Hey, let's dance," and then you can look to your left, and I'm saying look to your left. I'm looking to my right. You can look to your left. And there would be a woman sitting there butt naked dancing with a guy. And it's like, what is this? It was insane. It was one of the craziest trips. And it was only a weekend, but I'll never forget it. One of the most memorable.
Left an impression on you.
Oh, yeah. It's like it's nothing up here can compare to it, but it's almost like how they say an addict when an addict that gets high the first time, they're always searching for that first time. Right. Put it this way, my exposure was Magic City, and I've been looking for that ever since, and it ain't nowhere near around here. But it's just a memorable trip, and I mean, me and my buddy, we had a good time. I mean, that was like one of pretty much the only trip that we went on together. I mean, outside of going back and forth to Philly,
right?
But road trip. Never forget that trip. Okay. But Atlanta, ATL.
Okay.
Beautiful city. Well, beautiful people in the city. Good time.
Okay. I'm going to go Jamaica.
Oh, I always wanted to go to Jamaica.
So, super cool. I was only there for like a day. But,
one day?
Yeah. It was like one of our many cruises.
Okay. So when you're on those cruises, you get about a day per spot or something like that?
Yeah, give or take, yeah.
Okay.
So I know when I went there that they gave us, dinner, and it was like just like authentic jerk chicken, which was crazy. Got to zip line through an actual tree, which was pretty rough, which was pretty wild. The people are just super nice, man. They sound exactly how you think they would sound.
Marley style, huh?
Yeah. But it's just such a pretty island, man. Now don't go anywhere that you're not supposed to.
I was about to say, you've seen all the tourist part of Jamaica, because I know there's some hardcore slums that if you'd have went in deeper, you would have saw the heart of the real Jamaica.
I do not care about that place. I'm not going to visit the slums. I'm not going to lie. Sorry.
Yeah.
Happen. But super blue water, all that fun stuff. But yeah, definitely one of my favorite islands I've been to.
Sweet.
Yeah.
My other trip, now, remember, hate to be Debbie Downer and all that, but we said the trip doesn't have to always be a great time.
Right.
One that I kind of had mixed emotions. I went to Universal Studios and Disney which one's in Florida? Is it Disney World or Disneyland? Whichever one's in Florida. Hey, whichever one's in Orlando.
I don't know. Tiff isn't downstairs. I can't ask her. I don't know.
Okay. But it was like it was a trip with, my daughter at the time was only 2 years old. It tells you how long. She's 24 now. So it's like 22 years ago. It was me, my daughter, my ex, and I went with Keenan Allen. All the people that you met on the show that we did have a few guests on here with the young kids.
Yeah.
So Keenan Allen, the guy Puff, the bigger guy, him and all his kids. It was like a all family trip type thing.
Right.
And then his mom came and his dad came. And we went down there and we visited. Yeah, we hit them all. I mean, everything that was in that Orlando. We went to Disney World or Disneyland, one of them. We went to Disney's Magic Kingdom. So that's like not Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom. It was like a zoo or whatever, where you can see rhinos and you can pet them and stuff like that. And one of the things that was memorable to me was a hotel room that we stayed in. The first day we got there, I took a shower, closed the door, didn't think nothing of it. I was locked in the bathroom and could not get out. The door was somehow jammed shut or something. Ooh. We actually had to call the property maintenance, and I was in that bathroom for I took a shower. I was in there for an hour after I had taken a shower, just waiting to get out. Right. I think they had to almost break the door down just to get us in there or get me out of there. So, and my cousins and all them, it wasn't funny at the time because, it was definitely frustrating and nerve wracking, but about a little later that day, everybody started making jokes. It was a joke fest. But
so did they figure out what happened to the door? Like why it locked you in?
Well, the hotel people that were, a lot of them were foreigners or a lot of them from, Hispanic or Mexican. And they didn't really explain to you really well what was going on. It was just, I think they just said the lock got jammed or something like that. I don't know. It was one of the things that kind of put a damper on the trip. This was supposed to be a trip for my kid. I'm saying? She was 2 years old. Pretty sure she don't really remember. We got pictures and show her and everything, but I think until you're
hopefully,
5,
hopefully none kids of the for you in the shower.
No. No, but yeah, man, it's just a trip that we went on. It was good to be there, but as a big family unit, but that sticks in my head every time I think of that trip, is being stuck in that bathroom for a whole hour waiting on somebody to come break me out.
Yeah, I didn't see how that would be a memorable time. Oof. All right.
Hey.
So I'm going to go. I feel like such a bad person doing it like this. I'm going to go Bahamas.
Never been there either. Want to. Bucket list.
Yeah. Like the bluest water you're going to see. Definitely storms a lot, which is kind of cool looking, because when you're out on the water and you see a storm coming in, it's like, oh, this isn't like a Pittsburgh storm, man. This is like, you may get out of this, maybe. Right? But just think of the prettiest beach you've ever seen and times it by 10. That's how it goes, man. There's a reason people flock to these places, and once again, just did the touristy stuff, but still, it felt different than Jamaica, because Jamaica had more of a jungle-esque kind of vibe to it. Bahamas was like how we got to where we had to go. We took like the most rickety trail possible, but it felt like super authentic. And I don't know, man. It's if you get the chance, go. You don't kind of stay a long time, but
You said it storms a lot. Like whenever somebody's marketing Bahamas or advertising, you don't see no storms. You just see
well,
some
so
beautiful.
think of Florida, how it rains like once a day in Florida. Like that's kind of what it does. But when you're looking at it coming in, it looks like, oh God. But
Like it's gonna.
but it's because there's nothing blocking, and like it's just you see the water and then you see the darker clouds. Like that's what it does. So it's a real cool look, but it looks dangerous, which I think is another part that I enjoy because I like the idea of storms and stuff like that. So yeah.
All right. um, my next trip would be to Dallas, Texas. Same group going to see because that's where they live at now. Keenan Allen and his brother went down there because what's the name? The brother Puff, he was getting married and went down there to see them off on the wedding. And just Dallas, it's just that little metroplex area. And this was like right after like the new Dallas Stadium that you see it on TV, the way it looks. It's like it was like the first or second year that stadium had opened, and it was an awesome trip. I mean, it's a different type of heat. It was definitely hot, but I had a good time. It was just being with my family and everything, and just being able to go to some. Of course, I've frequented some of the clubs, and it was just a good experience. I mean, I don't have a lot of trips to even name, but that was definitely a memorable. One thing I do remember about that trip, it's very deep and seared into my brain, is on that trip. I usually trim up my beard like every other day. I forgot my trimmers at the house. And I stayed there for like a week, maybe over a week. And I went that whole week with not being able to trim myself up. I don't know how you do the beard thing. I just really don't. I was so irritated by the time I got to the house. I mean, by the time I got home, and how most people, they get home, they put the clothes down, they unpack, or maybe take a nap. The first thing I did was run upstairs to that bathroom and cut my face, because I guess maybe if you're growing the beard and you're used to it and everything, you get used to it and you can grow it fully in. But not me. I've always kept just this little bit here and this here. It gets irritating after 2 or 3 days. It's like, oh man, I gotta cut this. Definitely remember that about the trip. But yeah, Dallas, Texas. Dallas was cool. I mean, like, there's a lot of different things that I was able to do that you couldn't do here, but
Right.
I'm not gonna go into a whole bunch of details about it, but it was fun. Definitely memorable.
Yeah, I go through like beard themes. There are times where I will keep it okay-ish, and then there's times where I'm like, nah, let it go, man. It'll be fine. I don't know.
I don't see how it doesn't irritate you, but
I'm so used to it,
because
man. I've been
you
doing
keep it, yeah.
right. Like I've been doing it for more than half my life, so it's kind of like, your face is just accustomed to it. All right, number three. Number 3 is going to be Gettysburg.
Oh, okay.
So I've been there twice with 2 different broads, actually. So there's that.
Pimp juice.
Yeah, pretty much. Super cool place, man. It definitely, first of all, I always tell people this. So when you are thinking about Gettysburg, it is very much not the tourist trap that you think it is.
Yeah,
You
all I
know,
think is the Civil War. That's the
right.
first thing that comes in my mind.
And rightfully so, because there are a lot of cats out there that are doing the whole reenactments. I mean, so I've gone there around July, and I've gone there around October. Now, why that's important is obviously July 4th. You're talking about, all the God, not the, for lack of a better term, the replications of the war. They do all the reenactments. There it is. They do all the tours of that. Everything is very old timey. Even the restaurants there are old timey based, so they're very theme oriented. But when you go there in October, they lean into the whole ghost tour stuff because,
Oh, I know
well,
that's up your
think
alley.
about it. How many people died there?
How many ghosts are out there? Yeah, there's tons
You
of them.
know,
You don't even think of
so
that.
yeah, so that rivals their July, you know, quote unquote tourism thing. But why I think it's so cool is, yeah, I like the spooky shit. That's my bag. I like that. I don't believe in ghosts or anything like that. I think that's silly, but I like the ambiance of it, right? One of the things I really, really like about it, it feels very homey, and um, the idea that this is one of the most famous places in America, like legit, and it doesn't feel that way when you're there. It just feels good. Um, I know that sounds really vague, but just think about your perception of a place like that, and then know that on the other side of that, on two of its main tourism times, for someone to say no, it just feels like home, like you went to like a bed and breakfast somewhere. So um just a really cool aesthetic, real cool vibe to it. No one's loud, no one's obnoxious. It's just, dude, it's just nice. Like it's a weird feeling for where you're at. So yeah,
Cool.
and obviously I like it because I've been there twice. So
Gettysburg. All the
yeah,
places you said you've been, I definitely didn't see that one coming.
yeah, I gotta throw you a curveball, kid.
All right, my last one. I've been here a lot of times as well. I want to say at least 3 times that I can recall. When I was young, my dad took us there, and I think 2 times, and then one other time I was a little older, with some friends. Niagara Falls.
Okay.
Niagara Falls, Canada, both coasts, both sides, like the Buffalo side and the Canadian side.
Wife actually mentioned she wanted to go there just for like a little weekend trip. So I'm
Yeah,
curious to say about it.
you got the falls, and the times that my dad took me, it wasn't like the North America, continental North America. You didn't have to have a passport to get into Canada or into Mexico, but now, of course, post 9/11, you got to have a passport to damn near across the state. But
Right.
yeah, I just remember the not only the waterfall, but there was a museum up there. It was Ripley's I guess like Ripley's
Okay.
Believe It or Not Museum,
Interesting.
and yeah, you would see like the world's tallest man and tallest woman, and then there was this one car. It was like a dune buggy made of all pennies. It's crazy.
I think I've seen
Like,
that before, actually.
yeah, yeah,
Okay.
but yeah, the museum, just the tourist attraction, and then of course the waterfalls. I mean, like all throughout, you got those like little, I don't even know what to call it. They're like telescopes, or not telescopes, whatever. The things that you put a quarter in or something, you can view like
Right. Yeah,
binoculars or
the
whatever. Yeah,
viewfinder things. Yeah, I know.
yeah, and they're everywhere, and just the waterfall itself is like, it's majestic. It's just an amazing, you know, thing of nature that it's just it's like it's happening on the like American side and the Canadian side. It's just it was an awesome trip. I mean, definitely my dad took us a couple of times when I was young, and then as I was older, I think like a maybe teenager or in their 20s, went again, seen it as an adult. But it's a it's a great trip if y'all decide or y'all thinking about doing it. It's I ain't gonna say it's a bucket list item. It's something that you could say you did, but it's awesome.
I'm gonna say this counts because, let's be honest, I pay the bills, so it counts. The ocean. The
Any
ocean.
part, just going to the beach,
Well,
or
no. So the ocean when you're actually on a cruise ship, like the middle of the ocean.
ooh,
I love it. I love it. I love it. I have so many amazing pictures from the middle of the ocean where storms are coming through, or the sun is setting, or it's coming up. There's something beautifully serene, and I would say maybe for people terrifying, knowing that you are literally in the middle of a body of water that is deeper than you can count. And if things go sideways,
if anything happens, nobody's gonna miss you, or like
right,
there's no rescue team, or
right. But it's just such a beautiful thing to be able to see, land coming in and then seeing the topography change. And, if there's a storm that comes, now people probably aren't a big fan of the storms coming through while you're on a ship, but obviously because I'm weird, I love it.
Morbid.
It's such a cool vibe, man. And then just, in the middle of the day, just sitting on the deck drinking an umbrella drink as you're just looking out into the vast, endless ocean. Like, I don't know, man. Like that feels like that could spark inspiration for folks or whatever. I mean, it's just something you can't really explain till you see it.
Till you see it.
Yeah.
How long have you ever been on a cruise or outlet?
We usually go for like 7-10 days.
7 to 10 days. Wow.
Yeah. I think we've been on 4. I'm sorry, I'm not actually sure. I feel really bad saying it. But yeah, usually when you go places, there are at least 2 days at sea where you're not docking anywhere. Usually the first day, we don't really count the first day because it's like usually dock around like 4. So the first like actual choo-choo day, like so day 2, quote unquote. Depending where you're going. If it's a 7 or 10 day cruise, yeah, probably day 1, you're just floating to get to where you need to be, and then you start hitting places. So yeah, that first day, and that's usually where everyone's just getting all fucked up. So, well, let's be honest, that's every day on a cruise. But like that's the day where you're like, I'm frat boy Jeff right now. Let's fucking
no sense of time. You don't have nothing, no engagements to be at.
So much on the cruise. Like I literally will get up and I'll start drinking at 9, and I'll just drink through the day. I'll just drink till about 2 a.m. Just going, just doing random stuff, just drinking little drinks. Now we do that on Disney cruises because 1, they know how to make the drinks, and 2, it's free. Now, well, it's not free. It's like $400 a person for the open bar.
Yeah.
For the whole time. But
you're not pulling out money every time you get a drink. I mean, it's like,
well, no, but there is the whole gratuity thing that you handle. And usually end up tipping about 300 or 400 at the end of the trip, each person.
300 or 400.
So
all right.
Yeah. So yeah, it's Sounds dumb.
And you're
It's magical.
you're not a huge drinker, so you like, man. I've heard you say before. You was like, man, if there's one place I am gonna get drunk, it's gonna be on one
No,
of
and
them
the thing is,
cruises.
I don't get drunk. I don't.
Really?
Yeah. It's a vibe thing, man. Like you're not drinking pound and drink after drink after drink, but you always have a drink on you.
Yeah.
Like it's a weird thing, but you generally, for the most part, always have a drink on you from the time you start till the time you stop. Yeah, there's a drink in your what is it called? Oh God, the planets do it. Oh Jesus.
Orbit.
Yeah, there it is. There's a drink in the
He said the planets do it. You know how to
couldn't think
describe
about
it.
nativity last night on the pod.
You
I was
couldn't think of what?
nativity, like a nativity scene. I couldn't think of that. I was
Yeah.
like, novelty. Nativity. There it is. Oh God. All right. So was that 4 each?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I don't think we're gonna have time for both. So which one do you want to do? Do you want to do the perfect
names
draft
or perfect draft?
or the names?
I think the perfect draft. We're gonna have some of the same picks.
You're not allowed to.
You're not allowed to. The names is. I mean, I got a few. Definitely got a few names.
All right. Well, here's what we're gonna do. You entertain the people. I have to run and grab the puppy here.
Okay.
So entertain the people. Actually, you know what you can do? If you're cool with it, obviously.
You said what?
If you're cool with it, obviously. But if you want to, you could give people a tour of the place, or just talk to them. I don't give a shit.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut my hair on real quick. All right.
All right.
All right.
Well, here, I'll wait till you go because I don't want to have like dead sounds because then people may just like.
All right.
Yeah. All right, so we're gonna do the names draft. I mean, I got mine. Yeah. Wait, you got air now?
All right.
When did you get air? Like you had air conditioner?
Yeah, there's like a unit in here that's
You're almost like a person.
It's something that kind of looks like a radiator or something, like a modern day one, but it has the heat and the air.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
It's usually in like hotels and stuff like that.
Those are really, really prevalent in Florida hotels. Because actually, one of my honorable mentions was going to be Florida or Orlando for places to go. But yeah, I don't know. You know what? Actually, this is actually probably a good little thing, so I can do 3 minutes and take care of the dog. Why don't you tell people kind of where you're at now and kind of, you see what I'm saying? Like just kind of say, here's the decision I had to make, and yada yada. If you want to get into it, if you just want to, or you can just talk to them. I don't give a shit. Just do something that's entertaining. I don't fucking care.
Do you think?
Just start naming Chappelle shit. I don't give a damn. I'll be back.
Yeah. But yeah, for those of you that was on the last show, I was at a point where I was supposed to move within a certain amount of time, and pretty much the options I had, it was one scamming option, or seemed like a scam, where it's going to have to come up with the first month and a security deposit just to even get into the apartment. And then because my credit score, I guess, wasn't beyond what is it? I think they wanted to be like 650 or something like that. Just to move into an apartment, I didn't know you needed all of that. I mean, it's kind of worse than buying a car as far as, you know, if you need to get an apartment in a short amount of time. So I was told that I had to pay the first month and the security deposit, as well as I have to pay another security deposit and the last month of rent. So, but it was going to be broke down pretty much, or that's how it is broke down now, where this month I paid the security deposit and the first month of rent. And then come September 1st, I got to pay the rent as well as the second security deposit. And then come October 1st, I have to pay the rent and the last month's rent all together. So it's going to be a challenge coming forward. But with the short amount of time I had to, had to make a decision. Told to make a decision. Say that again?
I almost punched a cat on accident.
Oh, wow.
I didn't see him. He was dark ass in the shadows. I'm like, oh, hi.
All right. No, I was just finishing out where it was just like, hey, got to get ready to pay these, double rents for the next couple months. And then after October, I'll be, more in a normal place or normal state of mind. But due to the shortness of time, pretty much was like, first I was told I had until the 18th. Then the guy that was supposed to be helping me stated to me that I needed to make a decision by this Thursday, which I did make the decision. And I took this apartment, and here I am now. I mean, it's just a burden lifted, but at the same time, the journey's not over. But hey, I mean, there's certain things about this place that's a little bit better. I mean, the storage is a little bit better as far as like bigger cabinets, bigger closets. But as far as like overall space, square feet, it's definitely a lot smaller. And just, I'm used to, I only had 2 neighbors last time. I had the 2 people living down beneath me. This is a building filled with, this is like an apartment building. So it's 3 floors of, a lot of neighbors. So I see a lot of people coming in and out.
Is it noisy at all, or how is it?
Well, so far, I mean, it's not, I have a high tolerance. So it's like, I don't sweat small stuff. So, I mean, above me, I can hear, either somebody got their TV on really loud or they're playing some music really loud. I've been hearing that throughout the day today. Last night, not when I'm sleeping or anything. I don't know. It's nothing that's a big distraction or anything like that. No. Not yet. I don't.
That was my biggest, anxiety thing about doing an apartment is noise. If anyone that doesn't remember or hasn't really shown up, I was born addicted to heroin. So one of the byproducts of that is you have, I forget the name, but my big brain.
You said you was born what?
Addicted to heroin.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Am I fuzzy again or what?
No, I just didn't hear that. I heard you just say I was born, and then it kind of, I ain't gonna say it faded. I just didn't understand what you said.
Oh, yeah, fair.
Okay.
Yeah, so my big brain wife is upstairs somewhere doing something, and she knows the name of it, but basically one of the byproducts of that is noise really, really, really bothers you. So like people chewing drives me nuts. Unwarranted or unwanted noise drives me crazy. So yeah, so that was always a rough thing to deal with. So very happy I don't really ever have to deal with that ever again. So that's good.
You definitely couldn't live in my old apartment. My old apartment, it was about 15 times a day sirens. I mean, like either cops, the fire trucks, or the ambulance all day. I mean, like all day.
Yeah, that's terrible.
It went crazy. Yeah.
All right. So, hold on. Good thing here. All right, part 2, the draft.
Draft part, duh.
Yeah, this is part 2. Speaking of drafts, real quick, before I get into this one, you are coming here for the football draft, yeah?
For the draft, yes.
Right. I figured as much.
Yeah, and the reason why I asked you about the time, I did not know anybody was going to pick the same day. I was like, man, you got it perfect. Nobody's going to pick the 31st that Saturday.
Right.
Sure enough, one of the other draft, they picked Saturday at 7. I'm like, oh, man, I was just going to ignore it. Your draft is way far more important than those
I
10
appreciate
drafts.
that.
Yeah, I was going to let it auto pick, but if you got 1 hour, I'll pick as many, and then as soon as our draft start, I'm gonna just let the rest do its thing. Because first of all, it's not as much money involved, and I kind of told you how how it kind of works with Brandon and his league or whatever.
Oh, him? Oh God, yeah.
Yeah, you said forget him.
But yeah, I also don't want you just to,
Yeah, so far I got a draft August 25th, which is the Sunday before ours. Then I got, of course, I guess we're gonna have them back to back. Brandon's, and then yours at 8, and then Andrews is the next day, 7.
Okay. So I would say,
I'm probably gonna come over there around like 5, 6-ish.
That's what I was gonna say. I mean, I'm still gonna be working, but whatever. You can just bang my wife or something. I don't care.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Crosby will keep me occupied or something. Yeah.
I'll send Tiff to get you at some point. Because you don't have a car now. Wonder how that happened. Oh, I don't know. Anyway,
we never know.
We never know. Mysteries. Okay, so this is my idea of the draft here. So we already have one on deck now for next week, and that's going to be the perfect draft. From drink, entree, app, snack, and then a wild card. So that'll be next Sundays there. So this week is this one for the second part of the week is going to be the best sports names. Now, what I mean by that is it could be, if you want to, you can go the most influential or the most silly sounding. Just why do you have so many syllables in your name? Like things like that, right? I don't remember what prompted it. Something happened. I'm like, yep, there's my draft idea. And then that's how the drafts happen. So there's your peek behind the fourth wall there of how we create content here. It's a lot of like poop ideas, things like that. So there's that. So I am going to start off. And I'm going to go with a 1-year player that played for the Penguins, but he played the majority of his time in Buffalo. Miroslav Shatan. Now, it's not really how his name sounds. It's funny.
It's how it's spelled.
It's spelled like Satan. And that shit is hilarious to me. I don't know. I'm just like, you would think you would have called an audible, pun intended, at that point to say, yeah, hey, look, like I know you can change your first name and stuff. And I don't know how other countries work with that, but I would kind of think you would have been like, yeah. Can we do like it's pronounced Shatan. Can we just do like Shatan? Like that? Would that be acceptable? Can we do that for this guy? Because Satan. Satan. Yeah. But yeah, Now, by the way, this is in no particular order. It's just kind of things I thought about and I found. So, but yeah, so go ahead.
um, I went the route of, doesn't sound weird, but it is a name that you didn't really hear too much about this like you never heard the name float around America like it is now.
Okay.
It's just an influential name. You get tired of seeing them. Shaquille O'Neal. I mean, from now, I'm saying that do you know how many kids that I know that are named Shaquille now? It's like, it's pretty much I don't know, like a woven into the American fabric type all of a sudden. Like, there's no way you could, Shaquille and Shaq and all of that. I mean, I thought it was a fake name, but it's real. That's really the man's name. And not to mention, he was pretty much was the biggest person in basketball at the time. And I mean, of course, not now, but, and, Shaq. I mean, he does everything. He has a hand in everything. I mean, the man does basketball, plays basketball. He's won rings. He's on commercials.
He's a cop.
He's everything. He even rapped. He did everything. So, but yeah, I mean, that's just one of those names that
he had a video game. He was an actor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a very influential person.
Back in the day, I'm not even gonna lie to you. Shaq Fu was fun on Sega. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. So, pick my pick number 2. And yes, I'm going to the Cleveland Browns for this. I do not know the year. Have no idea. Never heard of them. Came across the name. Fair Hooker.
No. What? Hold on. First name is what?
Yeah.
Okay.
His name is Fair, Fair, Hooker.
Fair Hooker.
Yeah.
That was so real. And this dude played in the league? What?
Yeah, he's wearing yeah. Look him up.
Yo.
Up. Did you see it? Did you find him?
No, I can't touch my phone while I'm
here, let me pull something up here. Hold on.
I'm just saying, see, that goes back to when we were talking about names. Like, your parents do the. If your last name is Hooker, you don't set your son up and name him Fair.
Apparently, you do. Okay, so he is still alive. Apparently, Fair Hooker is a former American football wide receiver in the National Football League. He was drafted by the Cleveland Browns in round in the 1969 NFL-AFL draft.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah.
Whoa.
Fair Hooker. And he's a black dude with a big old stash and a fro.
Fair Hooker. Wow.
Yeah.
Give me hiccups on that one.
Nice.
No. Now, I know you said the names have to be their given name.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? I want to say Deebo Samuel, but I think that's not his real name. I think I watched that receiver. I think his real name is like Dyson or Tyson. No one knows his real name. I mean, everybody calls him. I mean, goes by Deebo Samuel.
I feel like it counts. That's my ruling on it.
Because you never heard his name other than that, I mean, I mean, the announcers say it like that. They dress him as Debo. Nobody knows his real name. So
I honestly didn't know that wasn't his real name, to be fully honest.
yeah, I didn't know it either. I was watching the Netflix. You know, they got the shows. It's called, one of them is called Quarterback.
Yeah,
Mahomes. I just watched that one. That wasn't as good. But the one that's receiver, it's like George Kittle, Debo, Amon St. Brown, and Devontae Adams, and they kind of go through their story through the season. And yeah, until they got on there, and it was like, I think his name is Tyshawn or something like that. But he said everybody, Dylon, I spit the hot fire. Chappelle reference. But yeah, I mean, Debo Samuel. I mean, when he hit the scene, and not to mention he's a good player, it's like,
yeah,
you got special chance, Debo. You know what I mean? Like, it's a very interesting name, and everybody know what it's reference to Friday, and it's like,
yeah,
wow, this dude is like, I mean, like, usually,
does he explain why he did that?
Yeah, he's from Friday. He said his dad. Yeah, he said his dad said that, you know, he used to always, you know, get into fights and take people's stuff, but it's just rare that normally when you hear something like Debo or a rough name, it's a defensive player, but he's an offensive player that carries himself.
That's built like a defensive player. Let's be
yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, like the Shanahan dude, he described him. He said he pretty much has the hands of a receiver, he has the moves and jerks of a running back, and he said his body is built like a linebacker. I'm like, like wow, yeah. So, an offensive player that you respect, that you know he can come take your shit.
Yeah, absolutely.
Debo Samuel.
So, I am gonna go, and I don't watch this stuff because it just isn't a thing. But it's just like a pretty well-known name. It is a race car driver. His name is Dick Trickle.
I remember you said that on the one when we were talking about the names. Yep.
Yeah.
Trickle.
Oh, Dick Trickle. Yeah.
Parents setting them up. I mean, I blame that on the parents. I'm sorry. You thought it was a cute, funny joke. I mean, your child has to go through life.
There is no funny joke there. That is awful.
Some of those names, you wonder why. Is that what drove them to stardom? Because they determined to prove people, you know, wrong or something like that. It's their motivation almost. Like,
fair.
Yeah. I very seriously doubt if some of those people with those crazy names didn't use that crazy name as motivation.
Right.
For sure. Wow.
Yeah.
You don't have to go no further in that one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. I don't know the game, and two, I'm like, what else do you say there, bub? You're kind of.
Yeah, I don't got the crazy names for some reason. I'm just going by names that, you know, once you heard the name or.
Well, that's why I left it open ended here. So
yeah,
you know, we can kind of.
Once they came out, it's just it's in the American fabric, and you know, kids today are being named still behind these people. So my next one is, of course, Kobe Bryant. Tons of kids named Kobe now. Before him, I don't recall too many Kobe's running around.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, he's had all like success, and you know, people to the point where you know you take the jump shot, piece of paper in the basketball can used to be like Jordan. Now people be like Kobe. So it's just a name that's woven into the American symbols.
Draft. I like the route you took, and I like the fact we both took two different avenues. I dig that. Yeah, but that's definitely you talk about influential. Absolutely. Okay. All right.
Yep.
Good. I'm going into baseball for my last two.
Okay.
This guy kind of bounced around with a few teams, but just a silly name. Coco Crisp.
That's his real name?
Yeah.
Once again, the parents.
Your
last name is Crisp.
Played for the Sox, and just a speedy outfielder, relatively skilled, but yeah, Coco Crisp.
Coco Crisp.
Yeah. C-O-C-O-C-R-I-S-P.
Oh man, I haven't heard that one. Coco Crisp.
Yeah.
That's the name of a cereal, right? Yeah.
It's Cocoa Krispies, and it's too close.
It's what?
It's too close. It's too close to it. So it's really easy to kind of, like, you say it, and it's not the exact, cereal name, but it's like you can't not think about the cereal.
That's
name.
all I think about. Like, soon as you said it, I just got a picture of the cereal box immediately. Wow. Coco Crisp. All right. This name, I mean, I'm not gonna say it. People running around naming their kids after this person, but it's definitely when he hit the scene. Meant more of his last name than his first name. Right here in Pittsburgh, Troy Polamalu. I mean, that is a name. I mean, that's a name that people. As soon as you hear Polamalu, I mean, it's just instantly bring you to the Tasmanian Devil, a crazy player, Hall of Famer, Troy Polamalu. I mean, that's a name that stick with me for the rest of my life. But I didn't know nothing about him coming out of the college. I mean, like,
I have a Steelers honorable mention, by the way.
Okay, all right.
We still
have Troy Polamalu. That's the honor. That's a very influential name that just people just instantly know what you're talking about. It's not like you're going to get that confused with anybody or anything.
Yeah, you're not like, oh, which Polamalu are you talking about here?
Yeah. Yeah.
My last pick, another baseball player, and this guy had a real big attitude problem. Very big. I mean, it kind of drove him out of the league. Milton Bradley.
Like the game board person, made by Milton Bradley.
Yep.
Real name was Milton Bradley.
Milton Bradley, and he was a okay skilled player, but he was more known for being insanely aggressive and just losing his mind as much as he possibly could.
What was he, a pitcher or what was he?
He was a batter, just an outfielder.
So what would he get mad at? Like, what would he do to show his anger?
Everything.
Fighting people and throwing stuff.
I mean, bad calls. If he got nipped by a pitch, if he struck out, it just was really like childish kind of. You have
very immature person,
anger issues type of deal. Like, figure out your life. So, yeah. I just kind of thought that it was mildly ironic based on how he was built as a person and how he reacted. That when you think about that name, it's like, hey, these are kids' games, and it's like, you're
he's X-rated
kid, so that's fun.
Milton Bradley.
Mm-hmm.
So you had 2 baseballs, a NASCAR, and hockey. Yeah.
And football.
Oh, you got another one?
No, the football was fair hooker.
Oh, yeah, the hooker. Fair hooker.
Yes, the hooker. I wake up in the morning like, the hooker.
He said, the hooker.
Yeah. She got me again.
But she's fair. So no. But he's fair.
She did tell me she did tell me I'd be clapping in the morning. I don't know what she meant. All right, what's your last
crazy? I thought we only had 4. We got 5?
Oh, 5, yeah.
Oh man. Yeah, 4.
If you were prepared for 5, that's fine. I can just go through the honorable mentions. That's perfectly fine. I thought you knew.
Yeah, I didn't have a 5th.
All right. So there is a soccer player. His name is Ben Gay. That was just amusing.
Ben Gay.
And there is another pro. No, I'm sorry. That was a pro football guy. Sorry. The pro soccer guy. His name is Fabian Assman.
Fabian what?
Assman.
Assman.
Yeah. Everything in me hopes that he's gay. Everything in me.
Wow.
Now my Steelers honorable mention was Chris Fuamatu Ma'afala.
Yeah.
Because I'm like,
I remember people used to say, Fuamatu, shut your mouth.
it's so funny because generally speaking, we're pretty stupid people in this town, but we pronounce his name to a T.
Yeah.
We got real fancy real quick. Like, oh, you Fuamatu Ma'afala. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, like 9 consonants. We definitely hit it. I mean,
no issue.
Like 9 syllables, and we dead smack on it. Like,
right.
Fumatu Ma'afala. Yeah.
We all had like a Samoan accent too when we said it. It was crazy. I don't know.
Yeah. I remember that one football player was a cornerback.
Oh, sorry.
No, Van Offen. I remember the one guy's name was Buster Screen. I'm like, Buster?
Yeah.
Like, your name is Buster?
Yeah.
Buster Screen.
Yeah. And it does. You do bring up a good point, though. I mean, how many of these names are actually like? Let me see your birth certificate. Like, I need to see this.
Yeah.
But
yeah, like now you can Sauce Gardner sounds good, but everybody knows his first name ain't Sauce. So
right.
Like nicknames is one thing, but
right. It's like He Hate Me. Remember him from XFL?
Yeah. From
like,
the XFL.
You know, but like things like this are just, I feel like they're oversights, man. I feel like they're oversights. I can't imagine parents are overtly setting their kids up for failure like that. That's terrible. Don't do that, man.
Yeah. I mean, if your last name is Gay, don't name your child Benjamin. I mean, like, why'd you do that?
Well, I mean,
Benjamin's not a non-common name. It's just that
like, what if their parents named him He Is?
Parents named you what?
He is.
He is.
Yeah.
What?
No, he is gay.
Oh my God. You know, your last name is Gay. They named you He Is.
But like the ironic part is
like spell it different, like right? He is like Heiz. Yeah. Heiz. Like he is.
He's just smashing bitches all day, just out of irony. Love it. Love it. Well, it's good to have you back, man. It's good that we actually got a fun episode in here. We weren't, we're kind of over the hump here with some things.
Yeah.
Like I said, you guys heard the new schedule that's going to be coming up here soon. But the current schedule, just to run it down again, it's Monday. Me and Taylor. Check him out on Twitter. He's on the little thing at the bottom there. You'll see him coming up there. You got T-Babs. I do? Yeah, T-Babs 17. I don't know why I thought that was an exclamation point. T-Babs 17 on X.
You still got BDE behind X and O's.
Yeah, I gotta name the actual. I gotta rename the. Wait. Oh, for the Patreon. Yeah, well, I gotta rename the Patreon. That's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. So Monday, me and Taylor go back in on the Pirates talk. Then on Saturday, and then we got this next Sunday. But yeah, last week of August, we're going hard in the paint, boys, and schedules will change. And I'll put out a few blurbs so everyone knows and all that. But the Patreon. tell us your interest on that. I mean, we're going to do it regardless. I mean, obviously we need to get the people on there in order for us to actually install something on there to do. But if you guys are interested in doing a Q&A here, like everything off, full disclosure, we're here for it, man. So,
Yes,
and the
we are.
giveaway stuff, we're at let me see here, because I told people what I want to do is when we get to 100 subs on YouTube, we're going to do that. So we're at 83 here. So, we got some work to do, but we're making progress, getting more eyes on it with everything. And yeah, so it's good stuff. I think we're making good progress here. We're back in our swing of things. So what do you got from here? Anything you want to leave out here on, or anything I missed?
No, nothing you missed or anything. I was just, I don't want to turn into a baseball thing, but yeah, what's going on with your boys the past couple of days? I mean, I'm like, man, we were like three or four games over 500. Now we're 3 under. It's like, what is happening here?
And they lost while we were talking, by the way. Yeah, they're doing very Pirate things.
Yeah, they got swept by the Padres. I'm like, dang.
And we just got swept by the Dodgers too.
Wow.
Yeah. We're really into that right now. It's like our favorite food is eating Southern California dick. That's what we're doing.
LA, San Diego, giving it to them.
Really into it. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's not a bad promo. I mean, we're going to go in harder on Monday. I don't think we can actually be optimistic at all anymore. I think this is it's the end times here, which just a little teaser here. I have a certain hashtag I've been using on most of these shorts. Go check that out and see what that is, because I think everyone's going to agree with it. But yeah, so yeah, I think we're good here. Good hour and 20 minutes. Sorry for the late start here. I had to get some things figured out and still didn't figure them out because I'm bad at my job. So that's that. It's fine. But yeah, I will see you personally in a few weeks. But I will see you next week. And yeah, it's good talking to you, man. I'm glad that you got your thing sorted out.
Yep. Appreciate it.
Yep. All right, there's sweetness toodles.
Deuce.
Oh, I miss you.